I think beginning with the end in mind is a good phrase to think about how you structure content. Most times when we create books, it is with a single use. So we think about creating a print book for a specific audience. But if we increasingly back up and think about the different markets that may be served by certain parts of the book, or the audiences that may be interested in it, but not necessarily in a print format, then we begin to structure the content in a way that allows those markets to be cost effectively served perhaps later in the life of the book, but in a way that doesn't leave a publisher unable to serve them when the time comes. Cooperation or collaboration within the book industry is a function to me of recognizing that publishing itself is a small industry. I'll use US numbers as an example, that the largest publisher, Penguin Random House, has less than $4 billion a year in sales. The entire trade value, the entire trade market is about $16 billion. By comparison, Amazon has annual sales that are $160 billion. Apple has more cash on hand than it could buy the entire book business 5 times. We act as if we could influence some of these larger platforms, and I think the best way to do that is through standards and a commitment to effectively developing shared approaches to common problems. Well, I think exponential is actually the era in which we live. The changes that build one upon each on another have made both the complexity of creating books and book-like content, as well as the ability to meet the needs of a consumer marketplace, much more difficult. It used to be we'd create one book for a specific segment, we'd sell the book, we'd earn money. Now, of course, it's if you create a book, you're creating it in multiple formats. The markets are evolving, and people are sometimes are looking for information, but not necessarily thinking about a book. So I think that it's a reflection of the world in which we live. Well, the thing that I've been kicking around with respect to content and its structure for several years has been that it has to be more regularly structured to support components, whether it's chapters or ideas, that there has to be contextual tagging to be able to draw out from a long-form text object, a book, the things that might be interesting to somebody who is, as I said, are not necessarily looking for a book. So the other thing is that we don't necessarily organize as publishers, organize our content in sets. So we tend to think of them as titles, rather than looking across an entire line of books and then showing where the ideas connect. Education publishers have done a better job of that than some, but I think there's still an upside there.